So today I want to start by talking to you about something called the Peace Index. So the Peace Index measures 5 key factors in each of our lives. And as leaders, it's important that we understand that if we're not healthy in any of these 5 areas, it really affects, obviously it affects us emotionally and spiritually, even physically, but it also affects the people that we lead. And it's impossible to lead people if we ourselves aren't healthy. And the goal is for us to all be at 100% healthy. And so this Peace Index, it helps us to measure these factors, to really assess where you're at in these kind of 5 key areas. So these areas are purpose, people, place, physical health, and provision. This Peace Index is a way for you to evaluate where you're at, how you're doing in each of these 5 important areas in your life. And so, you'll find in your life is that when you have a really high Peace Index, in other words, you're doing well in all 5 of these areas, that you will find yourself in a secure, confident place, a humble place in your leadership. You find these real, struggles in leadership really are just challenges for you to overcome, and you have a lot of energy and feeling like things are going well. But when you're not scoring high in your Peace Index, or you're really out of balance in this Peace Index, then it's quite the opposite, and you find that you're not able to lead as well, that your energy is drained, that you're operating out of a place of insecurity, or maybe you're self-absorbed because you're worried about one of these areas that's not doing well and you're trying to fix it, and you're just not at 100% health. And so hopefully you can use this tool to assess where you're at, and then to use it to become more healthy as a leader so that you can help lead others into health as well. I know as pastors that we struggle because we don't have people that we can turn to in our church, or people turn to us for spiritual and emotional support. And oftentimes we don't have people that we can turn to. And so it's important that if we're not healthy, that we have a way to assess it, and we know where we're at so that we can take steps to become more healthy. So to go through them just quickly, so purpose, when we talk about purpose, this is what you're designed to do. This is your calling. How are you feeling about your calling right now in your life? It's what you're really good at maybe in your life. So you feel really aligned with your work. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about purpose. So just think about it for a second. How do you feel right now related to your purpose or to your calling? The next thing is people, or the relationships around you. So for instance, people, this is just simply talking about the people that are in your life. Maybe it's the people that you work with, maybe it's the people you serve with, or the people that you serve in your church. Maybe it's your family. And so how are you feeling about those relationships around you right now? How about, let's move to place. So if you think about your place, this could be your geographical location. So where you're at right now, maybe the city that you're in, or maybe the house that you're in. Maybe you're traveling for an extended period of time, and so maybe it's the fact that you're away from where you feel comfortable. But I want you to think about the place that you're in. Maybe it's the position in your job. It could mean that as well. So think about that for a second and kind of rank. So if you're going to rank all of these, rank them on a score of 1 to 100. Just think about them and rank your kind of where you feel like you are. You're 100%, okay, that's great. You're 100% healthy in that area. Or if you're maybe really bad, you're at 30% in that area, and that would be really unhealthy. The 4th thing is your physical health. So that one maybe seems obvious, but do you have a health condition right now that's really bringing you down or limiting your energy? Are you overweight and you're not happy about where you're at physically right now related to that? Maybe your doctors talk to you about your high blood pressure or heart condition that you have, and you're needing to exercise more. So how are you feeling? How would you rank that where you're at physically right now? And then the last one is provision. And so this is your earnings. This is the amount of money that you're making. This is the revenue that you're bringing in as a family or as an individual. And so how are you feeling about your income right now, and what the provision in your life is? So think about that. The goal here is to put a number for every single one of these 5 factors that we can measure. And I want you to put a number, so from 1 to 100. And this would be in purpose, people, place, physical health, and your provision. So write a number from 1 to 100 there. and 100 would be, man, I'm 100% healthy. And so also I want you to think about, what is your leading indicator? So of these 5, which one is most important to you? When you find, hey, when that one tends to be out of line or tends to be off balance, the rest of them are affected as well. So I would call that your leading indicator. So of these 5, which one is the priority? Which one would be the leading indicator there? Think about that. I want you to take your score on all 5 of these, and then I want you to add the score up and divide by 5. And that's it. So add your numbers that you ranked yourself in all 5 areas, add them all up, and divide by 5, and that is your peace index. So what this will do, if your peace index is below about 70%, that's an indicator that you're needing to really work on yourself, work on your life and where you're at right now. Look at which one of these is bringing you down, which one is the lowest. And so maybe you're doing really well, you love the church you're at, you love the people that you're serving with, but maybe the church can't quite afford to pay you as much as you need to make it each month. So your provision is really, really low, and that's adding a lot of stress. Whatever that is, this gives you a picture of where you're at, and then it allows you to see, okay, in this area I'm really low. That way you know, hey, I need to begin to work in this area. That way I can become 100% healthy, and I can help those around me to become healthy as well. This is also not only a great assessment for you to use in your own life, but with the people that you work with, even with your family. I even talk to my kids about this. And so instead of in a meeting with your staff members, or when you're talking to your children on the weekends, then you say, how are you doing? They might say, I'm fine, or I'm doing okay. But we don't really have a good indicator of where they're at. And sometimes we struggle to even express how we're doing. But if you can talk to your employees, you teach them this language, you teach them this tool, this peace index, they can say, you can ask them the question, hey, where are you at on the peace index right now? Where are you at in these areas? How are you feeling about these things? And it becomes a lot more specific and gives you a lot more things to talk about, or a lot more things to evaluate with yourself. And so by teaching this process and asking the people around you what their peace index is, it's much more potent, it's much more powerful than just say, hey, how's it going? So I hope this tool helps you today. It's a peace index. I use it all the time in my business and coaching. I use it as a pastor. I use it with my family. It's a great tool. I encourage you to use it. I hope it helps, and God bless.